Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and now I'm going to bring up a personal friend of mine, a compatriota, which also means a patriot of mine. He's a fellow Puerto Rican who's anchored himself here in Tucson. Very talented man, and his lovely group. Now I've had a chance to tour around with these guys, and they're really, really great. But on top of that, Mr. Chillie Willie Groove, and that's the band, Mr. Chillie Willie. I'm going to ask him to come on up and give me a little autobiography on himself. So without any further ado, let me introduce Mr. Chillie Willie. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Chillie. Okay. First of all, thank you for coming down to the show. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure I'm one of your supporters in enjoying your music, man.
We are so glad to be here. The whole band is glad to be here. We've been looking forward towards this date for the past couple of months, as you mentioned down at one of the other gigs that we performed at. And we've been, it's a fairly brand new band, but these guys got over, 40, 50 years of experience, especially this young guy on saxophone over here.
He's got 50, he must have been probably when you started to play when you were in the crib, when he was in the crib. Okay, beautiful. Well, give me a little history on yourself, Willie. How did all of this start for you and where?
Out of Santurce, Puerto Rico.
And that's where you were born. I was born there too, buddy.
I know you was. We're Boricuas.
Yeah, and 23rd and Santurce in Puerto Rico, where a lot of talent has come out of. Mm-hmm. But how did your schooling come about, and how did that progress to the point of coming up with all of this? Not only your sound, but I understand you also have some credentials behind your music. Tell us the viewing audience about that.
Santurce, Puerto Rico, first of all. Then to Villa Bronx, New York, and went to New Haven, Connecticut Public Schools there. My father's a Latin percussionist. Was a professional Latin percussionist back in the Tin Pan Alley days, back in New York, in the Bronx. We know about those days. Back
I grew up in the Bronx too, man. We know about that.
Absolutely. And then just went from there. Well, I went to Shenandoah Conservatory of Music in Winchester, Virginia, where my major was in music education / performance. Okay. I started working around with different salsa bands, top 40 bands, funk bands, Latin jazz bands.
Really? Like which kind? Which ones?
Okay. Well,
give me a little list of.
We would go from funk to cameo. So who did I play with, or who am I heard with? Okay, well, back in the days, I was able to be one of the Latin percussionists for Angela Bofield, Tom Brown, Phyllis Hammond as a side percussionist.
Yes,
which was a really great thing, a good experience on that. In the New Haven Jazz Festival, we were able to open up for Lionel Hampton at the New Haven Jazz Festival.
Wow, okay, big heavies.
There was a very big thing for us, for someone who was not sure which way this music was going to go and so forth. Okay. But after a while, it just started kicking in. Then I just started mixing the Latin thing with the jazz thing, and listening to a lot of Tito Puente, Mango Santa Maria, the heavy cats, Ray Barretto, and so forth. And then
which I got a chance to play with myself while I was out there. Ray Barretto and Charlie Palmieri, his brother. That's how I came up in the business too. So let me ask you, what about the professorship that I read in your autobiography?
The what?
Professorship. I understand that you also taught in quite a few places. So you're actually a Latin percussion teacher also.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Go ahead and tell me a little bit about that.
I teach congas, bongo, timbale, all the Latin percussion stuff, all the drum kit also too, which I'm also going to be playing tonight also too. Okay. And a little bit of vibes, and certainly some guitar.
Okay. Before we keep going on, this guy doesn't do this all by himself either. No. He's got a group right here, and these guys are fantastic. Like I said, why don't you do me a favor and introduce each and every one of the members of your group?
Let's make sure we start off with, on the far right-hand side, please. He's one of the best gifted saxophonists and keyboard player. He is from Morocco by the way of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia, huh?
This is one
That's
of the...
a long way off.
Okay. Please, a nice warm welcome from Mr. Malik Al-Kabir.
And who's the next one on your line?
The next one over here on the right-hand side with the safari hat. Let's bring him over here so we get him under the lights so we can get a good look at him. Oh, my God. How do we do it? Please, on the vocals, one of the best harmonica players around and a very gifted, talented singer, Mr. Midnight.
Mr. Midnight. Okay.
On the right-hand side, to his right-hand side, it's good to know that this is actually his son, who's playing saxophone and is a gifted saxophonist in college right now also too. He's a music major and studying jazz.
Really? And what college are you going to? Arizona State. Another one. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and that's Mick Burton.
Mick Burton. Okay. And who do we have on bass?
Okay, over here, oh my God, he's a real fun guy to work with, loving guy, humble spirit, very gifted bass player. Please, Mr. Glenn Thomas or Thomas Glenn.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Chillie Willie Groove Band. Trust me, you guys are going to like this. I know I did, and I had a chance to play around with them too every once in a while. So, if invited, I may come up and do a little something with you guys.
Well, you know what? The first song, you're invited.
Oh, shoot. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Before we go on, just for 30 seconds, I'd like to say hi to Nancy and to Daryl out there. Love you guys. Yeah. I feel things how I do. People do make mistakes, but you also grow. So with love, I introduce Willie and the group.